Well, Heidi ho, my peeps. I'm not here with another essay about my life or another chapter in my novel, primarily because I have not felt the muse hitting me upside the head saying, write, or create, or make mice, or much of anything. Except I did make a really cool pine needle basket with a lid, which I am going to insert a photograph of here. All right, so I'm not going to use my shirt to wipe my sweaty face because it's 100 degrees outside. I'm actually going to use a tissue. First time you've ever seen me do this because these happen to be at hand. So anyhow, that little basket was fun to make. I swear, I'm such a weirdo. So I'm out working the burn pile with my friend who's been coming over and helping me deal with the rest of my outside landscaping that I've had to deal with. Fire prevention landscaping. And so we're dragging these big branches, big oak branches and branches from the bull pines over to the burn pile and throwing them on the burn pile. And I'm eyeing those pine branches with all those beautiful pine needles on them. And I'm thinking, boy, I have to remember to come out here and just snatch those pine needles off because I can make something with that. Famous last words, right? I can always make something with something. So I did. I pulled enough out and washed them and made the basket you just saw. I gave it to one of my kids, and he shared it with a friend of his, a Native American woman who lives is part of one of the tribes that lives in our area. We have quite a few Native American tribes, mostly coming down from the Mono culture. And this particular woman, she's younger than me a little bit. I don't know, maybe 10 years younger, something like that. But she still she was taught all the basket making traditions, the acorn culture traditions, all that kind of stuff. So she's just a wealth of knowledge. When it comes to using the natural materials in our area, at the elevation from about where I am, I'm at about 1,000 feet, probably up to about 3,000 feet in that ecological niche. That's where her ancestors spent the cold months of the year. I think they went a little higher during the warm months. I'm not certain. I want to ask her about all of that because I'd really like to hear what she knows about the Native American culture in this specific area. Anyway, pine needles are not a material that basket making was normally used with basket making in this area. Generally, it was roots, grasses, and other plant material that was coiled and turned into these baskets. And I've never learned those techniques, and I would love to. So she is graciously invited me to learn about that with her. Go to some of the areas where that stuff grows. She's going to show me how to identify it and how you work with it, how you harvest it, all that kind of thing. So I'm really excited. So anyway, he took that basket. I don't know if he actually gave it to her or not. I hope he did. But if he didn't, that's no big deal. Make another one to give to her. So that I've been feeling, that was about as far into creativity as I've been. However, I've been moping around this place ever since Grant went off to see his family. Now he's going to be back at the end of, I've got about a week before he comes home. And all of a sudden, I've just like kicked into gear about throwing stuff out, scrubbing things down, just, you know, doing the spring cleaning that I should have done a while, you know, in the spring. Now we're midsummer and I'm just beginning to do that stuff. Been fighting a lot of short-term etiology unknown depression. Don't know why. This comes and sits on my shoulder occasionally, but it has been. Usually lasts for a day, 2 days. I spend my time doing a lot of bed rotting, which is, I just found out what bed rotting is. Of course, with me, it's more recliner rotting. Anyhow, that's where you spend your whole day in your recliner or in your bed, just doing not much of anything, but snoozing, doom scrolling, reading, watching TV, eating, whatever thing it is you're going to do. And you pretty much do that 24 hours. So yeah, I've been having a little bit of that kind of behavior happening. But like I said, it normally doesn't last more than a day, sometimes 2, but usually it's a day. Then I've got 3 or 4 days of being relatively functional. So anyhow, today is a particularly functional day. So what did I do? Well, I did a bunch of stuff that when I show you the pictures of it, you're going to be like, we don't see that you did anything. What do you mean you've been working all day and you've worked up a sweat and you're feeling so satisfied? What did you do? Well, first I'm going to show you what I did, and then I am going to explain it. So here's a little look-see at my kitchen, which is midway through a deep clean right here. Okay, so here's my 360. I cleaned the walls. I cleaned my light fixture, took down the glass globes, washed them real good. Over here, cleaned that wall, cleaned the top of the cupboard there. All this has been cleaned. Cleaned the top of the refrigerator. I have cleaned, with the exception of this section here, the top of that section there. I have cleaned out these cupboards. Everything that's in these cupboards has been taken down, washed in the sink. The inside cupboards have been scrubbed and the stuff has gone back in. I also, here's the beans that I'm going to tell you about here in a second. Boy, did these turn out good. I haven't added the molasses yet to them, in part because I'm going to share them with some other people who may or may not want molasses. But oh man, that red chili, I have got to go get more dried chilies because that really, really makes a difference in the taste of these beans. So yeah, there we go. Yes, it looks real scary because it is. Yes, there's a ton of stuff that needs to go, which will go. But yeah, so look at that. And that's pretty frightening. Oh, I cleaned out underneath my sink. You could never tell by looking at it, but I pulled all that stuff out, scrubbed it all out, wiped down all the bottles of stuff, stuck it back underneath the sink. So I have been working. Oh, and I started a crock pot full of beans. And as an aside, I think I found that for me, the tastiest way to make beans, I take my pinto beans and some dehydrated vegetables that I made and a lot of cumin and some oregano, salt and pepper, a little bit of chicken bouillon, a lot of water, stick that in. You can boil it. I happen to be doing it crock pot today. And then I added a sauce that I made by getting all of my dried peppers together. I had a gallon of dried peppers. They were ancho peppers, poblanos, some I forgot how to pronounce it, guajito, something like that. They're little short little peppers. Most of them are a rich savory pepper. They don't have much heat to them. It's more flavor. So I got them all together. I washed them. I tossed out the ones that were too old. cleaned all the seeds out, soaked them, put them in my blender with some water, and I made this. Somebody called it adobo. No, I've never made an adobo sauce, but someone said, oh, you just made an adobo sauce. Anyhow, so I made this sauce, put that in, and about 2 nice big glugs of molasses, and let that all cook together. And let me tell you something. Those are the best beans I have ever had. I like beans. I like them plain. I like them flavored. I like them refried. I like them anyway. I just think beans are a wonderful substance. They do so much for us. They have so much nutrition in them. And I don't have a problem with digestion of beans either. They don't give me gas. They don't make my stomach hurt. None of that. I digest them really well. Anyhow, point is this new way I've come up with making beans is so wonderful. And I'm going to bring some of those beans on Wednesday to a party that I just planned sort of off the cuff today. I've got 2 neighbors. Well, I love all my neighbors, but I have 2 in particular that are really good friends. One guy lives around the corner from us. The other woman lives across the street. And the 3 of us, we make soap together and we hang out whenever we can. I mean, we're all real busy, but we really like each other and we're real supportive of each other. And so all 3 of us are going through like stressful times right now. And so I picked up my phone and I texted him. I said, hey, you know what, you guys? We need to have a picnic, just the 3 of us. We need to go to one of the local bodies of water. We've got lakes all around us. And we should barbecue something real simple, hot dogs, hamburgers maybe. You know, somebody bring a bag of salty snacks, somebody else bring some ice, someone else bring some water, and we'll bring our chairs. And I've got these umbrellas we can use if we, have trouble finding shade. And let's just chill for a few hours. Let's make some food, talk, kind of have a bitch fest. And they both are like, we're on it. That's a great idea. So today we planned doing this thing, which we're going to do next week. So that's going to be fun. I love planning events. I love planning parties, and I like coordinating parties so everything goes together, or so that I can use up something that I've been holding on to so that I could have a party, right? So I'm busily, in between scrubbing, I'm busily getting out my disposable cups and my cute little forks that have the glitter in them and all this other junk I've been saving for picnics. And getting all that together, making sure it's all clean. I'm going to pack it all into my little, antique picnic basket that I'm going to bring. I have to go out and find my umbrellas. I think I've got one for each of us. So I'm going to be all ready to go when the day comes and we all head down to the lake. We've decided to go to the nearest body of water, which is like 5 miles away. And there it has many, many places to do day use picnic and all that. But one particular place we really like is kind of hidden. It's one of those places, if you don't know about it, you don't even know it's there. You don't really know how to get to it. So we're going to go down there. It's very small. There's maybe 5 or 7 little picnic spots with, the built-in barbecue thing. There's a bathroom right there, nice parking right at the site where you do your little picnic deal, and then a few yards away is the water. So it's the perfect place to have a, just a small little get together with your buddies. Now, when we get there, it could be packed, full, no room. That could very well be because we're at the height of the season. And if that's true, then I know of another place we can go further away. It's maybe a 15-mile drive from here, but almost nobody knows about this place because it was closed during the pandemic. And it's another one of those sneeze and you miss it kind of roads. You're driving along, and if you don't know that's a road, you might think it's a driveway. And it takes you up to a power station that is high on a bluff and overlooks a bigger power station with a big reservoir. So, and there's this little, it's not a lake, they call it lake something, but it's really it's more of a pond. But it's cool because hardly anybody's ever there. So I've always got my hibachi with me, so if we have to hibachi barbecue, we'll do it. Anyhow, so I'm real excited about that. In the meantime, oh, it's wind's kicking up out there. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to scrub. Once I've gotten all the upper cabinet areas all taken care of, I am going to do the same with the lower cabinets, and then continuing to throw stuff out and put stuff where it belongs. Isn't in the kitchen. It's either belongs out in the tool shed, out in one of the containers, you know, someplace other than where it's sitting. So I'll get all of that cleared out. And the last thing I'm going to do is scrub that floor and put down a like a floor finish, not a wax exactly, but something that'll make it nice and shiny and smell real good. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. Once I'm done with the kitchen, I'll move over to the bathroom and do the same thing. I've already started on the bathroom. I did a real good scrub of the shower already. I need to get my big old gloves and my pumice stone and get in and scrub all the hard water off the inside of the toilet. Got to do that still. But that I'm going to do that whole thing. Scrub down the walls, vacuum the ceiling, take everything out from underneath the vanity, throw away the stuff that's out of date, you know, scrub the floor real good. Just make sure it's clean and sparkly. So that all I have to do is wipe things down and run a vacuum real quick before Grant and our grandson get here. So, yeah, I just really feel motivated to you know, continue my little spruce up. After my spruce up, well, after my cleaning, that's not a spruce up, it's just a cleaning. I feel like it's time to really jump in and do all the stuff that I said I was going to do and that I bought all the materials to do, which is basically the wallpaper, fixing the ceiling. I need overhead cabinets. I need an actual cabinet with a countertop that my sink goes into, because right now it's just kind of cobbled together from when I pulled out a bunch of water damage stuff. So I really need to put my mind to that, and I want to. I would like to be able to walk in there one day and look around and see my beautiful strawberry wallpaper up and my new kitchen bottom cabinet with a sink and with my beautiful pink tile that I've been saving forever. And, you know, and then on the other side, I'll probably replace that countertop with butcher block, I'm thinking. I've already got the paint to do the trim and the parts of the walls that aren't going to be painted, so, or papered. So I have this vision. I know what I want to do, and I need to sally forth and do those things. I'm having a bit of a quandary because I love my two mismatched china closets that I use for, one's my baking cabinet and the other one is for cups and plates and silverware and all that. I love those two things. I love the fact that they don't go together. What I'm thinking about doing is painting the white one the same color as all of my trim, so that'll kind of blend into the color scheme of the kitchen, and leaving the wood one the color that it is, leaving it wood. So I have all of these things in my head that I want to do, and we shall see what I actually end up doing. Then I also have my funky bird wallpaper. I think I'm going to insert a picture of the bird wallpaper here because I haven't shown it to you guys in a while. So take a look at this. Okay, so the bird wallpaper is supposed to go into my living room and into my dining area. And I'm really looking forward to putting that up. That is so strange. I just think it's the neatest wallpaper. My mother would have loved this wallpaper. So I also want to do that. That's less of an issue because it's not I don't have to do construction in there. I just need to get everything down off the walls, do the thing with where you smooth the walls out with some joint compound, sand that down a little bit, prime it, and then up goes the wallpaper. It's a project that I've done many, many times. My aunt taught me how to wallpaper way back when I was in my 20s, and I've done it on numerous rooms over the years. So I feel very confident doing that part. Deciding whether or not I want to build cabinets, that's a bigger problem. I'm sort of leaning towards not. I'm sort of leaning towards simply constructing the section where my sink needs to go, getting that constructed, and on either side leaving the cabinets that are there, just simply because I like freestanding furniture in a kitchen. So I will be sacrificing some counter space, and I will be sacrificing some cupboard space, but I will retain that funky flavor of the kitchen that I really love. So that is my long-winded explanation of, where I think I'm going to go next. What else? I'm looking forward to Grant coming home. I'm looking forward to having our grandson for a week. That's going to be a lot of fun. I already texted him to find out what kind of food do you like, what kind of food do you not like. So I know no seafood, no fish. What's the other thing he didn't like? He gave me a list of stuff he didn't like. So I asked him, well, how about these things? Do you like? I know, pork chops. That's a thing. And so I said, well, how about these things? You like them? He said, yeah. So I'm going to pre-plan our meals so that I don't have to think about it while he's here. So I've got the stuff. I know what to do, what I need to take out of the freezer in the morning. So I don't need to kind of like waste time thinking about it. It'll already be pre-planned. And, for the week or so that he's going to be here, actually there are a number of days when they are not actually going to be here. I think that, he and Grant are going to go over to the coast for a day or two. They might go camping overnight somewhere in a general vicinity. So I know they'll be busy doing stuff, but I'm going to be ready for the week. I also need to clean the guest room too, which is an absolute disaster right now. So that needs to be done. So why am I sitting here talking? I need to get up and keep moving. Thanks for listening to me, though. And I'm so looking forward to finally having some time when the muse conks me on the head and says you need to work on chapter 11 and tell everybody what's going to happen next. So I haven't abandoned the project. Rather, the muse has abandoned me temporarily. But that's going to change. I hope you guys are all having a great day or evening or morning, whatever time it is that you happen to see this. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.